There's a tiny antiquarian bookstore full of cheap vintage paperbacks a couple towns over from me, and I want to show you some of my most recent pickups, starting with these juvenile delinquency pulps. I'm particularly pleased with this Wenzel Brown, Gang Girl. I guess Wenzel Brown wrote a lot of pulps in the juvenile delinquency genre, but he also wrote a lot of non-fiction on the same subject. And I have one of his non-fiction books, so I'll be interested in reading this and maybe showing the two off together here. Atlantic Avenue by Albert Helper. I'm not sure if that's juvenile delinquency, but it's hoodlums, and it has a gritty urban sound to it. And Juvenile Delinquents by Leonard Kaufman. The story of three kids from the slums. But yeah, I'm particularly pleased with that lot. But moving on. Next up, I got a couple vintage sleaze paperbacks, and I was really excited for this one. Sin Circuit by Don Elliott. And if you don't know, Don Elliott is a pseudonym for Robert Silverberg. And the guy at the bookstore was telling me that he used to know Robert Silverberg and knew him when Robert Silverberg's house burned down and he lost all of his paperbacks. And this guy was helping him reacquire a bunch. And he said that Silverberg told him that his record for writing this stuff was 7 hours. He could write a pulp in a shift. I don't know how true any of that is. Another one I got was Passion Proxy by John Dexter. I have a few of these John Dexter ones now, and that was a house name for a bunch of authors, including Robert Silverberg, and a bunch of other authors that went on to have prolific writing careers, such as Robert Bloch, Donald E. Westlake, and Marion Zimmer Bradley, just to name a few. But I've read both of these already, and Sin Circuit is brutal. There's some scenes in there that really took the enjoyment out of what I was reading. And yeah, it's got violence in it, and back then, because of obscenity laws, they were allowed to be much more graphic with the violence than they were with the erotica. So there's something to be said there, but yeah, that's a really brutal one. And Passion Proxy, on the other hand, that one's much more satirical. It was pretty funny. That's a lesbian pulp, but it's clearly exploitive and written for men of that generation. But yeah, those were definitely good finds. Here's one that's kind of sleazy sounding. Uncle Good's Girls. Have you met Cabin Road's Most Popular Girls? By John Faulkner. Or how about this one here? The Night is My Undoing. She Knew Too Many Men Too Well. By Delmore Jackson. I love the presentation of this one. Yeah, that's beautiful, eh? Light blue text block. Even the spine. She knew too many men too well. I mean, cut the girl a break. She was just killed. Wide open town. Yeah, that's lovely. So yeah, those are very nice. Next up are some beautiful Collins White Circle pocket editions. That's Blonde for Danger, a Norman Conquest mystery by Berkeley Gray. Here is The Man Who Was Not There by Ethelena White. That sounded like a horror novel. And Erskine Cladwell's Trouble in July, which is more literary fiction about racial tensions in the South. But yeah, these are really lovely. And they've got the nice red text block and everything. Yeah, really nice spines on those too. Cool. And of course I picked up some noir. Now these are all GGA covers, Good Girl Art. This one's GGG, Girl with Gun. Killer Take All by James Ocassi. And I've read this one, and it was alright. Your main character is actually a golf pro, and his new client is a gangster, and there's a murder and some stolen art, and our guy's being framed for it. Of course, there's a love triangle and everything, but it had its moments. And look at that beautiful title page too, eh? And in the back too, it's got an ad for another book, Three Must Die. Yeah, very nice indeed. This is a Johnny Liddell. Johnny Liddell's always good. And introducing Scott Jordan, a lawyer detective. Is that not like Earl Stanley Gardner's Perry Mason? But yeah, very nice stuff. Here's another Johnny Liddell. I read that one already too. It was good. It had its moments. It was a classic, then why oh why did you hire me? Spoiler alert, I guess. Sorry. The Girl with the Sweet Plump Knees by Thomas B. Dewey. Okay, could have been more rude with that, I guess. I'm excited about this one, Bloody Precinct by Bill Douglas, a real-life detective. Check out the back on this one. The Habit. How much dope are you taking? 1 bundle a day. That sounds like a lot, even half a bundle. Yeah, really nice backs on these ones too. And here's another one that I read already, The Dreadful Night by Ben Ames Williams. And it was very good, very atmospheric. It's like isolation horror suspense with 2 strong female leads. Very good. And this one, this is beautiful. Experiment Perilous. This is a wartime edition from 1945. Share this book with someone in uniform. And inside, if I can find it, has this: books are weapons in the war of ideas. That would make a great t-shirt. Nice red text block. And then I've got this one too, My Late Wives by Carter Dixon, who is John Dixon Carr. And that's by Pocket Books. So you get Gertrude the Kangaroo. I'd make a good t-shirt too. And I got a couple Dell matte backs too. I don't usually, because they're often abridged. But if you can see down in the keyhole here, My True Love Lies by Lenore Glenn Offord is complete and unabridged. And it's about a murder in an art gallery, which I've read about before and really enjoyed, so I'm excited about this one. And of course the map on the back is of the art gallery and a bit of the surrounding area. And then I also picked up Invasion from Mars, because this one's just a collection of short stories compiled by Orson Welles. And the map on the back is really great. That's from The Million Years Picnic by Ray Bradbury, which is a story contained in this collection. And then last, but certainly not least, I got The Best from True, the Man's Magazine. And this is from 1949 and contains true stories of real men being real manly in such categories as adventure, hunting, horse racing, humor, fishing, jazz, that sounds like a good one, by Louis Armstrong, guns, boxing, war, fact mystery. So, a bathroom reader for sure. But that was the haul and everything I've read from it so far. I hope you enjoyed that little slideshow. Thanks for watching. Over and out.